Hi, everybody. I'm Rajendra Ramoon Maharaj, and I'm the Associate Artistic Producer of Milwaukee Repertory Theater. And happy Pride. Today, we have two wonderful guests that will be joining us. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about themselves and their organizations. Jean, why don't you take it away?
Hi, my name is Jean Northway, and I'm the program director for Courage MKE Group Home. So we are the first group home in the state of Wisconsin, specifically for LGBTQ youth.
And Brad?
Hi, everyone. I'm Brad Schleikowski. Along with my husband, we founded Courage MKE, and right now I'm the executive director, trying to move us forward into future pastures.
Yes. Well, I want to just say how thrilled we are to be able to speak with both of you today. Your mission just touches my heart so deeply. And I would love if one of you could share a little bit, for those who don't know what your mission is, what it is.
Well, our mission is to fuel a collaborative movement to provide LGBTQ plus youth the tools they need to be successful leaders. And that's what we're doing at the Courage House every single day. And a lot of it's by modeled behavior, right? And then, like I said, we're trying to grow, and we do have other programs. We provide hygiene kits for youth across the city, and we offer scholarship programs for youth across the state.
And Jean, as we look at the many challenges that we're facing in the world today, particularly for LGBTQ youth, what are some of the things that our viewers need to know that are important, that are on your top 3 list of things that we should focus on, particularly during Pride?
I mean, I think really for the residents here at the house, it's really important to know that none of their stories fit into a clear narrative. So I think the reason that this work touches all of our hearts is because any of us who identify as part of the LGBTQ community, we've been ostracized, or we know people who have really been ostracized. But for our residents in the house, their stories are a lot more complicated. And so they are really here to have that sense of community.
Yeah.
So yes, like Brad was saying, we're really making an environment where they are hopefully empowered to be their most authentic selves and are surrounded by a bunch of role models who can help them thrive.
One of my heroes is James Baldwin, and he once said that, to be born Black and queer and poor in America, that he felt he hit the jackpot as a human being. And as you every day interact and are on the foot lines and the foot soldiers with these young future leaders in the LGBTQ plus community, what are the things that are important to them? What are they speaking about right now in the world that concerns them?
I love that. You think you said inspired by them, and we really are. We really are inspired by them every day. And I love how just full and authentic they are about being their full selves. I think that they feel an urgency now that I, speaking for myself, did not feel 20 years ago. And so I love that. But they talk about the ways that all these things intersect of, their queer identity. If over half of our residents identify as people of color, how that's intersecting in their lives. And then they talk a lot about education and just being able to be themselves out in the world.
Wow. Brad, how has the dream of this idea that you started many moons ago, how has it changed your life?
I never, if you asked me 5 years ago if I'd be running a nonprofit, I never would have probably told you yes. I'm from corporate America, right? It's changed my life in so many ways to really, in the foster community, you don't know what's going on there unless you're part of that community. And now we're part of this community. And I think the part that's changed my life is, and I've seen so many people open their hearts for us as an organization and for our residents over the last 5 years. So often we lose that faith in humanity, right? But that cliche of this is the house that love built, that is exactly what this is. I mean, we all we did was use our voice to make people aware, and this community and people across the country came together to build this amazing place for these kids to go. And I would not change what I'm doing if my old job offered me double my salary at this point.
You know, I have to say, when we were researching Pride and we were looking at the many organizations that are doing such important work, as I shared with you, yours touched my soul so deeply because
Oh,
I know, as a person of color, as a person who has struggled with being homeless and going through many challenges in my own life, that to have a community, to have a place where you can just lie your head and feel safe is so important. And
yeah.
that's part of Pride. And so it's just, it stirs my soul to know
Oh,
that you are in the world doing the work you're doing.
thank you
If
for
you
that.
could describe, each of you, three adjectives to describe the kids, because I think sometimes we forget, you know, that these are children,
Yes.
and the future leaders and future, you know, teachers and doctors and leaders and parents in the world. What would be three adjectives to describe for our viewers, you know, who don't know anything about these kids, to describe them that comes to your mind? What are the top three adjectives?
Oh, that's both really hard and really easy because it's so easy to lump them into a group and knowing that they're each really distinct individuals. But the first three that come to my mind are inspiring.
Hmm.
You know, we were having some conflict this morning, but it was really inspiring. And I was like, I just texted Brad that I said that both they're going to use this power to change the world.
Amen.
And strong. I hate that people have to be as strong as they are, right? We often use resilient, and I wish people didn't have to be as resilient, but they are. And funny, like, damn, these kids make me laugh.
Love it. Brad?
Um, they're kids, right? And they're teenagers. So I'm going to use opinionated. Um, uh, and that at times can lend into, you know, humor and fun as well. I'm going to say they're very artistic, especially this group we have right now. There's a lot of different forms of art happening in the house. And it's so amazing to see them use, and maybe they don't even know that they're using that deep down, what's happening inside their brain or in their heart, and putting it on paper or in dance. But I love that they're doing that. And my third one, um, Gene took it, but it is funny. And I'm going to use it too because I don't think that even if we're going through a crisis moment in the house, there's not a day goes by that you don't hear laughter coming from that house. You know, it operates like a family. If you or I were arguing with our siblings, you know, 15, 20, an hour, minute, hour later, we're fine, right? And we're laughing and joking again. So I love that.
Oh, that's wonderful. You know, and I think that the more, especially as we look at Pride, that we don't just think of, you know, Pride as a celebration and a big party, but it was an act of rebellion. And I think that as what you both are doing are really at the heart of the movement of why we celebrate Pride and ensure our legacy and our future. What would you say to a young person today in the state of Wisconsin or the city of Milwaukee who is coming out and has fear and trepidations? What advice would you give to that young or even old person who is deciding to live their authentic self and truth? What would you say to them today as we look at Pride and the wonderful work that you've done? What advice would you give them? We'll start with Jean.
So it's so cliche, but it gets better. That it's hard and it's challenging, but I don't know anyone who's done it who's regretted it. And that whatever hard feelings you're having, they change, and you find a community who really loves and values you for who you are. And being valued for your authentic self is way better than being artificially valued for a persona.
Bravo. Brad?
I would start by telling them how proud of them I am. I came out at 32, right? So I see kids coming out as young as 8. So I'm so proud of their, no pun intended, their courage, right? They are so courageous at such young age. And kids are still kids, and kids still be mean. So I'm proud of them. And then I would tell them that I want them to understand that there are family looks can look different than what the definition of family is, right? Um, many of my friends and many of a lot of our friends don't have blood family anymore because of how they identify or who they are. Um, and that's what we try to teach the kids at the house is you can have a chosen family that's just as strong and powerful as what everyone says their blood family is.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. I want to just say too, on behalf of Milwaukee Rep, that whenever you want to come see a show with these amazing kids and your organization, know that our house is always open and we can discuss how we can make that happen because I believe the arts saved my life. And I know that it has saved so many. And so to be able to, no matter what your circumstances are, to go into the empty space and dream a bigger dream for your life. That's what the theater gave me. And I hope that you will think about how we can connect as organizations who are more alike than different in our missions. And I offer that to you as we celebrate Pride this month to think about the shows that we're going to be doing this season and how we can have you, your staff, and of course the kids come and be part of the dialogue and the night of theater. We would really be honored to have that happen between our two organizations.
Thank you so much for that.
Oh, of course, of course. You know that it takes a village, and we are definitely part of the village. Um,
Yes.
so, for those who want to donate to your organization, who want to get involved in your organization, where do they go? How do they do that?
Sure. Our website is www.couragemke.org. And we have a Get Involved tab right on the top. And if you're feeling generous and you're able to donate, you can do that there. If you're looking to volunteer in any capacity, whether it's through events or, we're just starting to get back to calling volunteers back to the house post COVID. There's a volunteer form on there as well. And then there's also resources on there for anyone that needs them if they're going through things within their own personal life as well.
I love that. And as we think about Pride, and particularly this year with all of the things that are happening, particularly around trans youth, even in our city and our state, what do you want to say to our elected politicians that might not really see this community as viable, as people who have rights that are important and dreams realized yet, and that when we hurt a child in any way, we really hurt America, right, and the future. Jean, what do you want to say to those politicians who are on the other side of what I believe is a moral question about equality and justice for trans youth?
Oh, geez, I'm trying to collect my thoughts as eloquently as you just said them. I want to say everything you just said, that the kids are watching and that what you do really sets the tone for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Brad?
I would remind them that most of them have children too. Most of them probably have children with some sort of need or whatever that need is. And imagine that child being discriminated because of whatever that need is, because that's exactly what they're doing. And it's time for them to wake up and understand that.
My goodness, my heart swells as I hear you speak that. And I just think of just, the need for us to remember that they are our children.
Right.
They are our children and they are our future. And, I just feel like, the youth have so much to continue to teach us and to inspire us. So in closing, I want to ask each of you as we celebrate Pride this year, what do you know for sure? What do you know for sure from your experience of the work you're doing, about the community, about the need for Pride? What do you know for sure? And we'll start with Jean.
What I know for sure is that I know a lot less than I thought I did in my 20s. What I know for sure is that we are definitely stronger together, but that is only true for each being who we really are, with our full flawed selves. Yeah.
And Brad?
What I know for sure is I'm not done learning. What I know for sure is nobody is done learning. And that is the approach that we need to take on life, is that every moment that we pass a stranger or someone that we know is a lesson that we can all learn from. That's what I know for sure.
Wow. Well, I want to let you know what I know for sure. You are both doing the work of angels, and you make me so proud to be part of this city, part of this community, and part of the movement that started long before we could even imagine. I'm a firm believer in Mahatma Gandhi's words that we must be the change we wish to see in the world.
Yes.
And every day, the work you do, you must receive this and know this. I know it's not always easy, but that you are part of the change, and you are going to heal and save so many lives. And when all is said and done and all the resumes and eulogies are said, you're both really doing good work that's going to save lives. So thank you for being good people and doing the good deeds of the angels. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride to you, and thank you for that. I just want to end by saying our staff is the ones doing the work every single day with the kids. So I can't wait to pass that on to them. Thank you so much for that. Happy Pride.
Absolutely. Happy Pride. And once more, for those who want to make donations, we have many, many people who support the rep, who give us a lot of dollars. And I want you to really think about supporting this amazing group. So one more time, if they want to make a donation or volunteer, where do they go, Brad?
They go to couragemke.org.
Great. So if you want to be part of the change you want to see in the world, please, please make a difference by donating or volunteering. Happy Pride, Milwaukee.
Happy Pride, Milwaukee.
Pride. Thank you so much.